Hello, Pisces. Thank you very much for tuning into your general read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. For support of Oracle cards, Wisdom of the House of Night. And there in the back is who it's from, but if you look up House of Night, Wisdom of the House of Night on the internet, you will find that deck if you would like it. Okay, let's do this general read. Let's see what comes out here. Alright, just gotta go with the pattern here, so whatever that means. So, it's kind of branching out. So, there's a lot of good going on here, and this is about somebody who's very close to you. Alright, so this is in the center, and this is an interesting read, because it's kind of fanning out. It's going to be a different pattern than I normally do. But it's the first thing they're centering on is this has a lot to do with somebody that you're very close to. Could be a partnership in the sense of like a relationship, romantic. It could be romantic. I'm feeling for a lot of you though, it's more like, you know, a parent or a child or a best friend, maybe a very close work associate, somebody that you get along with, that you and that person look out for each other, and there's mutual respect, mutual love. It doesn't have to be romantic, but it could. You have to take that with a grain of salt, especially with a general read to decide what that actually connects with as we keep going forward. Because what this is stemming from is choices had to have been made. This seems like what this is all coming from. This is all starting from choices that had to be made. And you're having a hard time with somebody is what I'm getting. This person you care about a lot. You care about a lot, and it's kind of like where they're going and where you're going. So, I feel them, this is coming forward like there's a choice being presented here that has to be done. Some choice has to be made. And when I see them, I see the Queen of Pentacles. They care a lot, and they do care what you think, and they do care what you feel, but they're very, I'm getting like this is how they feel it needs to happen, and they're not really wanting to, I don't feel like they're really wanting to negotiate. And they just want to do it the way they want to do it. They don't really care if it's right or wrong. They just want to do it the way they want to do it. Now, as this keeps going forward, and at the same time, actually, you've got the Two of Pentacles. And you're just kind of looking at this like, I don't know if that's right. And you're looking at this other person like, I don't know what to do to stop you from doing what you're doing, but I'm really thinking this could be a problem. Like, there could be some type of physical danger, or, you know, some type of monetary danger, or it's just kind of like a reckless behavior. Could be some type of substance that you feel they're getting out of control with. But you're kind of like, I'm not sure what to do with this, but I keep feeling like I need to kind of do something. I need to influence this person to stop or to change direction, or at least, you know, taper it back a bit, something. And when I'm feeling the Pisces side, it's kind of like, it's not so much that you know if something does or doesn't have to be done. It's like what to do that will actually have an effect. That's where you're kind of like the I know something has to be done type feel, but like I don't know exactly what I can do that will actually make a difference, and I need to make a difference, and that's the problem. That's where a lot of this is becoming an issue. Now, the other side, I feel like you're dealing with this, and the other side, really, is stubborn energy. Stubborn energy is what I'm getting. I'm getting the Strength card, but I feel like they're standing in the spot where they're viewing it like, I need to do what I need to do, and this is what I feel, and this is how I want to be, and they're just kind of like, I'm going to do what I want to do. And they're standing there with strength, like, but it's kind of feeling stubborn. It's actually even bleeding into later, the Hanged Man. Like, they're coming up to this point where they're trying to hold on, and they're not willing to give up. But when the Hanged Man shows up, I tend to see this as a person who, or a position in life where things aren't really changing, but it's kind of coming around like it just can't continue like this. Sooner or later, something has to change. Like, if this person literally was just left up on this tree and nobody came to help them, they would expire. You know what I mean? They wouldn't make it. And I'm getting here, especially in this one, you'll see a crow at the top with that pentacle, handing that pentacle down, kind of like, I know, you need to you need to listen to what's coming towards you. You need to help. You need to work with the people who are trying to help you. And this is for that person you're trying to help. Like the Hanged Man is saying, it's coming to a moment. This is where it's accumulating to. Where, it's starting to come in on them. It's starting to sink in on them that they need to start listening because this isn't going to work. And they're having a hard time doing that. Now, on your side, you're coming up to that Strength card first. And I feel like you're wondering if they're ever going to... Actually, what I feel you're wondering is if this is going to become a really bad situation before it becomes a better one. And I feel like you might even be wondering, like, is this going to get so bad that there is no good to it? It's just bad, turns out bad, and it was just unfortunate all around. I feel like you're having a hard time with this because this person is not willing to work with you. You're having a real difficult time with them. Things aren't right. It's getting worse, and you're just kind of like, the Moon card is telling me you're not really able to affect them. At least you don't think you are. That's kind of interesting too with the Moon card. You don't think you're affecting them, but you're continually trying to tell them. You're continually showing you care and that you don't think this is right. You seem to feel like you're talking yourself blue in the face, or to a brick wall anyway, and you're not thinking it's really making a difference. But the thing is, it is slowly sinking in. It is making its effect. This person is thinking about what you're saying, but they're not acknowledging it to you, and that's the kicker, is what I'm getting. Now, the thing is, when that Hanged Man card shows up on the other side, like this is near the end, of just before a change happens, the thing is, how long does that hang out? That's the thing, because a change is going to have to happen. The question is, what will the change be? And I feel like you're looking at this, well, it's going to be a very upsetting change if they don't get on board. It's kind of that's how I'm connecting with it anyway. And I feel like it's starting to line things up a little bit, because what I'm feeling is when you start to see that they're thinking and they seem to be backing off, I'm getting that you're starting to realize that it's time to try to sort out options. And I feel like they're getting along with you better. They're working with you more. They're not seceding to you and they're not doing what you want, but they're talking with you more. And they're like, well, this, well, that. And they're trying to negotiate it more to what they really want or to keep what they have. And I feel you trying to talk it out and kind of well, there's this that can stay and there's that can't stay and this that does work and this that doesn't work. And you're talking more to this person about what the options are. And I'm getting this is not a solving part of the problem, because they do have the Hanged Man. They definitely do at the end here. So they're coming to the spot where life is basically saying, listen, either fix your wagon or your wagon's going to fix you. I don't know how else to put it. And I'm getting here, you're feeling more listened to. These are both on your side. You got the High Priestess. High Priestess is more on the outer edge. You got also the Knight of Cups. You're trying to get along with this person. You're trying to have an effect. You're trying to make the point. You're like, I don't want the wagon to fix you. In other words, when the wagon fixes you, in other words, the wheel comes off, it rolls and crashes, and you end up in a big painful mess. So that's the wagon fixing you. If you fix the wagon before it's a problem, you fix the wheel and you take it a little more careful with your wagon so you don't have a catastrophe. That's in case that doesn't make sense, because I know I use weird analogies sometimes. So, and I feel like you got the Knight of Cups going towards this person. You're like, listen, I don't want the wagon to fix you. Let's fix your wagon. I don't want the wagon to fix you. I care about you. I don't want this to happen. And I feel like you're pushing this upon this person, I'm not trying to make your life difficult. I'm not trying to even control you. I'm not even about that. I'm worried that you're going to have a big problem, and then it's just going to be sad for everybody. You, me, and everybody else included. Nobody wants this bad thing to happen to you, but I see it coming. So, we really need to this is where you're telling them again, either tapering it back, or changing direction, or being more careful, or stopping a situation. You're coming in again with this. And I feel like even though they're listening, they're not moving. But that crow at the top here, handing down that pentacle, I'm really feeling that. You're giving this person a chance, and they know, here's their chance to not have a very bad catastrophe. And they're seeing it. At this point, they're seeing, yeah, there's been a couple near misses, and they're like, yeah, this is going to happen. And you're like, well, you got to change. You got to change your direction. At the end of this, even though they're getting along with you, you're still trying to convince them, is what I'm getting. And they're still in that spot whether they're going to, what type of change is going to happen here. The Hanged Man, nobody can live in that. Nobody can live like that. You just can't live like that. What's going to happen is one of two things. They're either going to choose to correct the situation, or the situation is going to correct them. That's the best way I can say it. So this is where this is heading. It's not on you, but I see it greatly affecting you. No matter what happens, I feel like if it goes well, you're going to feel a lot better. If it doesn't go well, you're going to feel... I feel a little bit of guilt, kind of like, why couldn't I convince them? I don't think that's fair. Like, you did your best, but it's ultimately up to them whether this is going to go better or not. So I feel like your efforts, the whole point of this reading is your efforts are well worth it, but at the end of the day, it's in their hands whether it gets better or not. But your efforts are worth it. They are making an effect, is what they're saying. All right. I think that's it for this one. All right, I'm going to wrap this up here. Hopefully that helps. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.